Hi guys, and welcome to another unboxing and first impressions. Today we're unboxing a Seestern watch, although if we're gonna be honest, this Seestern is actually German, so it should be said Seestern, which means starfish in German, as the logo is an illustration of a starfish, but everyone calls them Seestern, so I'm gonna call them Seestern as well. This is their Doxa Sub homage. If you follow my channel, you know I'm in love with Doxa, and I had the 300T, but I sold that watch because the modern non-Marei Era Doxas have that weird bracelet that goes out and then tapers down. Because of that, and they also have those fixed end links that extend the case slightly, and that thing just looked weird on my wrist. Ever since then, ever since I sold my 300T, I've been trying to get the 1200T, which is the last part, one of the last Marei Era Doxas, but those have been impossible to find in orange color and in the condition that I'm willing to take. So this is the closest thing to that, because the bracelet is the old style like on the Marei Era Doxas, and in some ways I find this watch to be better than the 300T despite costing a fraction of the price. And when it comes to the packaging, you get this box that you can use to carry watches, you get a sizing tool for the bracelet, you get a bracelet removal tool, you get an instruction manual, a warranty, and that's pretty much it. Very basic, nothing that I expected to be amazing considering the price. These retail for $300, but they always have some kind of sale, and currently at their webpage this is a $179 watch. $179 for an all stainless steel solid watch with a bracelet that has solid end links, solid links, and a milled out clasp. 200 meters of water resistance. I don't know if I said Seiko NH35 sapphire crystal. I mean, even if it looked like garbage, considering the specs, it's a bargain. But they heavily inspired this watch on the Doxa. In fact, it's, well, blatantly a copy of a Doxa. From the orange dial, the crosshair, the side slided logo, and the inscription, everything. But in some ways they improve it. Like I said, compared to the current 300T Doxas, as you can see here, the bracelet follows the end link, which is the way I like it. I didn't like that protruding end link, this one, because it kept scratching the case, and because of that they had to extend this so that it doesn't scratch it as much, and then it didn't want to like fold all the way like this one does, but it stayed like this, and it made the whole watch look weird on me. This is 42 by 46 lug to lug and 13 millimeters thick, so just like the real Doxa. Sapphire crystal. The bracelet, like I said, better than the 300T, although the clasp is not, as the 300 had that on-the-fly adjustment. This one just has these micro adjustment pins. This is the only thing where I think they can improve in the V4, because this is the third version. The caseback is pretty beautiful with the starfish jumping into a wave, so kind of Seestern meets Seiko. I don't know, very cool. The case is typical Doxa-like, so it's polished on the sides, brushed on top. And one thing that's different to a Doxa is that both of these rings on the bezel are actually brushed, only a different type of brushing. One is more satin brushed, the other one is more coarsely brushed, while in a Doxa one, I believe, if my memory serves me right, was polished and picking up scratches like crazy. And the crystal is flat sapphire, which I actually prefer. It kind of gives more depth to the dial and makes it feel more vintage. Another improvement apparently is the lume, which is something we're going to show in a minute, because on a Doxa, yeah, the lume was pretty weak, especially compared to a Seiko, but on this one, apparently it's very good. And not only that, but they also lumed the date. I recently reviewed one of the watches with a lumed date, and I'll put a link right here, and that thing blew my mind, and I started thinking, like, why don't more brands do that? Because the date stays on all day, so it's gonna get charged properly, and then in the night you can see it. Even if you don't want to read the date, it actually serves as an additional hour marker. So a brilliant move by that brand, and now by this one. This is only case for the V3, not the V2 and V1. Now, I checked a couple of reviews of this thing, and apparently even under macro, everything looks crisp and clear. And as you can see, they did capture that glossy finish of the hands that look massive, because like the paint is really thickly applied. That's what I liked about my 300T Doxa, and I'm glad they captured this. These hands are not flat, not simple. They actually have some substance, and I can't wait to put this under macro to see. Everything seems to align properly, so let's try the bezel. We'll put it on my wrist, and we're gonna do a lume shot to see if this lume is really better than the original Doxa. Like I said, for $170 or $180, even if the lume sucked, I would be okay, because you get this iconic design that's actually gonna look better on my wrist than the original. If I ever get a 1200T, yes, I will buy it. I mean, if I get one that's in nice condition at the price that I'm willing to pay, I will probably buy it. I even started thinking about like using this bracelet and just buying a 300T and replacing the bracelets, but that's something I don't know if it's gonna work. As you can see, it does have drilled lugs, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's try the bezel. Very easy to grip, very precise clicks, very nice bezel action. I can't remember my 300T, but I believe this is on par with it. Maybe slightly coarser. That was slightly smoother, but it also had that play on the crystal. Like if I took my my 300T Doxa, and if I tried to move the bezel, it would like move. You can see it like moving toward away from the crystal, like it had slight play. This one doesn't. This one is firmly put, so tolerances on this are actually better than on the original. Okay, let's put it on my 6.5-inch wrist to see how it looks. And currently I'm wearing my 36mm Explorer. I always wore it on a bracelet. I've had this for like 3 or 4 years. I knew it's good on a strap, but I never had the courage to take off the bracelet. I finally did, and this thing hasn't left my wrist ever since. I just love the way it looks on this and how comfortable it is. Okay, so let's put it, although this, as you can see, still has some protective film on it. Let's try to remove it. And naturally the watch or the bracelet hasn't been sized for my wrist, but it will be for the full review, because like I said, this is just the unboxing and first impressions. I will be doing the full review with macro shots and everything after I spend some time with the watch and tell you my impressions. Okay, let's open the clasp, put this thing on my wrist, and I'm just gonna hold it pretending it's sized for my wrist. Like I said, 6.5. I used to be 6.7, but I lost quite a lot of pounds. And here it is on my 6.7-inch wrist. Looks beautiful. And look how this bracelet follows the contour of my wrist. This is something that modern Doxa does it wrong. And I can't believe they can't realize that. Some people even told me when I had the 300T, just sand down this part and then it's gonna start like moving downwards. I don't want to pay like $2,000 or $2,500 for a watch and then sand down an end link. That just doesn't make sense. It's a very, very thick and massive watch. It's a true beads of rice bracelet. Like even the Marei Era, some of the Doxas of the 1200T had this like more like a decoration, but it was actually a single piece. But on this, each bead of rice is a separate piece. So incredible quality. Wow. I can't wait to see this under macro and to see how it behaves. But right now, I mean, for the price they're asking, even the full retail price, when you look, $300, any micro brand with an NH35 is now in the $300 range, maybe $200. But this is under $200 most of the time. Incredible. Okay, let's do the lume shot and see, and that's gonna be it for today. Okay, let's first charge the watch, and I brought out my Seiko because Seiko is king of lume. So charge them for a couple of seconds. Put them next to the camera. Let the camera focus and turn off the lights. And there you go. As you can see, it glows blue, not green like Seiko, but when it comes to intensity, it's slightly weaker than a Seiko, but a pretty good lume. I believe this is better than the 300T I used to have. Very cool. And look at that date. Like I said, even if you don't want to read the date, it's very cool to have it because it imitates an hour marker, giving more symmetry in the dark. Very nice. Okay, so that's it when it comes to this unboxing and first impressions. Do stay tuned for the full review after I spend some time with the watch, size it, wear it, and do the macro shots. But I'm already pretty ecstatic about it because it solved one issue that I had with the original Doxa. Now, I still am a Doxa fan. And look at that little bug. So please, Doxa, fix that bracelet on the current 300T. Make it like this. Make it go down right away. Make it not scratch the case. Remove that taper. I mean, if some people prefer that, just offer a bracelet that's like this and the bracelet that you offer currently. It's not that much, and I will willingly buy the original. As for now, I'll be trying this one. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.